What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of New York Giants Conversations. And I'm your host, Unpopular Opinion Sports, with my co host, Big Pat Sports Talk, man. We here to get into the New York Giants' first preseason action, man. Let's go. Football is here. The preseason is upon us, and we here to talk about it. We here to talk about all the New York Giants news and notes from that game. Also, we're going to get into our top five takeaways. Top five takeaways from the preseason game. Giants, of course, losing 13-10. We don't worry about the results. We worry about what we seen on the field, and we're going to tell you what me and Pat seen out there in that first game. Five takeaways. Also, we're going to hear from John Harbaugh, and everybody's talking about this big hit Jaxson Dart took. So we want to hear from Harbaugh and from Jaxson Dart and see what they thought about the hit. Also, inside the NFC East, we're going to check out our NFC East opponents and see what the Cowboys is up to, the Eagles, and those Commanders out there in Washington. And, we got to get our roast session on with On the Money or Outta Pocket, all that and much, much more. But before I get into it, man, Pat, man, what's good with you, man? How you feeling today, brother? On this Sunday, first football Sunday. Well, second one. We had the Hall of Fame, but this is our first one for the Giants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I like some things that I saw in the game, some things that needs to be cleaned up during the game. We had about half our starters out there starting on both sides of the ball, so it's a couple of things that we need to work on, and it's preseason, man. So it's their first taste of the football field going against another team and not against themselves. So, hey, always good to see things that you got to work on, man. Let's get to work.
Most definitely. Let's get to work, and let's get to work on this show. Let's hit the intro, man, and we're going to come back with Giants Conversations. We are back, baby. Let's get it.
Welcome to Giants Convo.
All right, man. Coming right back here with New York Giants Conversation. And as I mentioned, as you mentioned, Pat, the starters did play some in this game. So we definitely got to see a little bit of a little peek of what the Giants could look like this year. But one of the main things that people are talking about from the game, national media wise, is the hit that Jaxson Dart took. So before we get into our five takeaways from the game, what did you notice, or what did you see about the hit? How'd you feel about it? When I reacted, y'all seen me reaction. We was on the call, me and Man Cave, and I was just like, wow, somebody missed. You know what I'm saying? Then Man Cave came back and he was like, yeah, it was, running back, obviously, Tyrone Tracy. You can't put it on Dart per se, can you? Because he didn't do nothing. He just dropping back, trying to do his job. But people just make a big deal about this stuff. Want to paint the kid as kind of an injury problem. I don't know, man. But what you think, Pat?
I just think it's a little bit overblown. I think he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit because he got hit dead in the stomach with the ball. And he laid on the ground for a little bit and got back up, went to the sideline. It's not like he got hit in the head. So why is he in the tent? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a little bit over-exaggerated, but it comes with the game, man. Narratives come with the game, and so that's the narrative that's being pushed. Jaxson Dart is reckless, and he gets injured, and they're going to keep pushing it until either people stop believing in it or people keep believing in it and they're just gonna go overboard with it. But Harbaugh was a little bit confused. Dart was confused, and that's the way it is. He came back out. You saw what he did when he came back out. So obviously he was just fine.
Yeah, obviously. But let's hear what Harbaugh and Jaxson Dart themselves thought about it.
My feelings in that moment was we need to block better. That's what my feeling was.
The hit that Jaxson took, what were your feelings at that moment when you saw that?
My feelings in that moment was we need to block better. That's what my feeling was.
All right, let's go to this clip. Harbaugh, of course, asking about
Honestly, I was, but
being asked about the tent. Jaxson Dart going into the blue tent here, and this is a theme that is because the whole thing with Dable running in the tent, peeking his head, dragging him back out, and this is a kind of a little thing here, and now John Harbaugh is coming into this thing like, okay, so let's hear.
Surprised in any way when Jaxson was sent to the Blue Dart?
honestly, I was. Honestly, I was. But I would say that their job is to err on the side of player safety, so I can't argue with that either.
Surprised in any way when Jaxson?
So now we're gonna hear from Dart and his thoughts on the situation.
Even Jamison. Yeah, I thought it was a good drive by the offense just being resilient. It was big by even Jamison, Motor just making a play to get us down there, and us being able to have a big play in the red zone on a scramble drill, and Malachi just showing what he's been consistently showing all through camp and through practices of continue to play along with the play, and then being able to make a contested catch. So I was really proud of the protection up front, the resiliency of the whole drive, and us ending in the score, which I thought was really cool. As far as the blue tent, like I really respect the rules and the thought behind NFL has of keeping players healthy and reviewing things, but at the same time, I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, I just find my way in there, which at times I still try to wrap my head around. But that's all that I'm going to say about that situation. I'm really happy with how the drive ended.
All right, man. So you got to hear from Dart, Harbaugh. They're puzzled. I was puzzled by the situation. I'm like, why are you taking him into the tent? Because, he got hit, and I was like, my thing was, I hope he was okay as far as, not having an injury to his body. I wasn't even thinking about a concussion. And all of a sudden, here he came. They're taking him into the tent. So they like to make a deal out of this because the media likes to chase stories. And it sucks for Jaxson Dart. It sucks for the Giants. And unfortunately, you feel like every time he takes a hit, regardless of where, how, and what happened, there's going to be this thing of, okay, is he hurt? Is he being reckless? You got to put him in the tent and make sure he's okay. Almost like trying to keep a little kid from hurting themselves. And this is a grown man playing quarterback in the NFL. That's exactly let him go out there and play. Stop babying them and making a big deal out of this nonsense. But yeah, man. Last thoughts on this, man, and we're gonna move on, Pat.
I just think it's a little bit overblown, and you can see the frustration in his face. He's gonna have to shake that off, man. He's gonna have to go out there and develop himself into a primary quarterback for a very good franchise in the New York Giants, man. And so he has to know that the media is going to be all over him every single week. So like he says, seems like every time I get hit, it's like I find my way into the blue tent. You're gonna have to find a way to be like, yo, something gotta give. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets hit, bro. This is football. So it is what it is, man. But until people stop buying into narratives and everything, this is what you're gonna see. And hopefully he doesn't let his frustrations boil over. I mean, that's about all you can say there.
Yeah, man. So now we're gonna get into our 5 takeaways from this game. Of course, the game itself, Giants losing 13 to 10. You can thank Brandon Allen for that, man. He whoosh.
Yeah,
whoosh.
he is.
Try. But
please don't get hurt, Jameis.
Yeah, man, we need our whole quarterbacks healthy, you know, and that's why I was concerned at first with the Dart thing, but bruh, let's get into this game. All right, 13-10 loss. Now 5 takeaways. I got my takeaways. We could react to those. Pat, you could throw some things in there as we move this along. Y'all hit that like button. New York Giants conversation. We give you this every Sunday throughout the NFL season with the New York Giants. And, you know, we get into other teams as well. So appreciate you. Now, my first takeaway, we're going to go with number 5. You know, I like these top 5s. That's kind of been my thing now, rolling along here for a couple seasons. So we're going to go with number 5 takeaway. And that is that the run defense struggled. Of course, now, DJ Reader did not play. Shelby Harris did not play. Those are supposed to be 2 of your better run defenders. But Lakey Fonte was out there. Alexander, Sean C. Golson was out there. Abdul Carter was out there. Arvell Reese was out there. Michael McFadden was out there. Kayvon Thibodeau was out there. You know, no Brian Burns, no Tremaine Edmonds. Those 2 guys will obviously help as well. But I'm just looking at how it looked out there on the field. You know, Pat, you know the X's and O's better than I do. But the one thing that I seen was that it was some gap stuff where linebackers wasn't. I saw a couple runs where the gap was wide open, missing the gaps. And then I also seen, like we always talk about, runs to the outside, you know. And some people pointed out that Darius Alexander struggled a little bit as we're talking about an individual player. I do think that he did not look great from a defense standpoint, but I like the push he got in the pass rush. So I did kind of have him as a you know, a pretty good performance out there, but people want to point to this run defense, and it is a problem. And I've been saying it's been a problem, and I don't know if we have necessarily addressed it in the fashion of, okay, now we don't have to worry about it. I think it's something we still got to worry about. But what are your thoughts, Pat, on the run defense?
Yeah, it's something that we still have to worry about, and really we have to work on our backup defensive tackles with Chauncey Golson actually did a pretty good job when he had to hold the edge in the run game. He did a damn good job on a couple of runs. But Darius Alexander did struggle a little bit holding gaps when it came to the run, and Michael McFadden still not making tackles when he's supposed to make tackles. The first big run was because he missed a tackle right there in the gap, and he got off and he got to the outside and got about 10 yards. But Darius Alexander, I'm not worried about that because that won't be his primary job when our veterans get back in DJ Reader and Shelby Harris. But Averill Reese looked pretty good too in a couple of run plays, and he's a rookie, so he's going to miss a couple of things out there. He had a 1 rep when they went straight up the middle where he was in the wrong gap a little bit. But overall, I think when we get people like Brian Burns and Tremaine Edmonds and DJ Reader and Shelby Harris in there, I think it'll be a different story. But as for now, you got to go by what you saw, and we struggled stopping the run a little bit. On that first drive, most definitely, we struggled a little bit.
Yeah. Vikings total rushing 111 rushing yards on 27 attempts, 4.1 yard average. So that's kind of the stats to back up what we were talking about. These stat people out here, man. But it is a reflection on what we've seen. So they gotta get that cleaned up. Like I mentioned on the podcast, your division ain't nothing to play with as far as running the ball. So you got to get that cleaned up. Talking about Philly and Barkley and Hurts, and then Dallas with Javonte Williams, and of course Washington. They're gonna run with their running backs and Jaden Daniels. So you have to get that run defense cleaned up. Otherwise, it's gonna be a struggle for you.
Yep.
And they're gonna wear your defense out, wear those edge rushers out that you want out there fresh to rush the passer. They're gonna get wore out trying to stop the run.
And you don't want that to be 4.1. You want that. You want it to be low threes to be an average defense, and you want it to be mid twos to low twos to be a great defense when it comes to the run game. Average. Speaking of average yards per carry.
True that. All right, let's get to number 4 takeaway that we're seeing out there, man. And that is going to be the corners. Here we go. Here we go. Now, Debo did not play. Newsome, I don't think, played either.
No.
But Banks was out there. Hood was out there. Corey Black, Art Green, some of these other cats, they were all out there, man. But it wasn't horrific, but you still seen some technique stuff. Hood got caught being a little grabby at times, and then of course, I forgot who got beat on that touchdown though. It was a beautiful move by that dude Price for the Vikings though.
Black.
Yeah, Corey Black. Which we ain't too worried about Corey Black, but Corey Black is an injury away from being a key contributor on in this secondary. So those are things you have to look at, especially when you're looking at the backups to the starters. Now, I do think that this is another area where, Joe Shane even talked about it a little bit. The Giants going to be looking at some teams, calling some teams, see if they want to make some trades. They also going to be looking at the waiver wire come cut day. And this is definitely a position that the New York Giants have been looking at to upgrade. They were in on McDuffie. They were in on Terrion Arnold. There's a rumor floating out there about Christian Gonzalez. So they definitely are in on improving the cornerback room, which is refreshing to me because they realize that this is a weakness on the team and they're not sticking their head in the sand saying we good, we just gonna roll with what we got. But this is one that you that caught your eye about the cornerbacks, man. So go ahead and speak on what you're seeing out there from the CBs.
The cornerbacks are young guys, Deontay Banks and Colton Hood. Their best strategy is to actually be press corners, and they actually did well on a lot of reps. It's just some reps they got a little grabby, and they got a couple of holding calls, and they're young. They're gonna have to develop. Remember, Colton Hood is only a rookie, and Deontay Banks, I'll be honest with you, after his rookie season, I think they did him an injustice, switching him to that back off type role. So he's gonna have to get acclimated and being able to be physical again. And he looked engaged. That's promising. He looked engaged. He didn't look like he didn't want to be out there. He didn't look super lost. Like, he was engaged and he was making plays. He was actually making some tackles too. Like that one run up the middle, it could have went for a lot more, but he made that tackle and brought him down quickly. So I'm intrigued to see what our cornerbacks will do going into this season. But I wouldn't be surprised if Harbaugh and Joe Shane try to make a move, like you say, per se, for Christian Gonzalez if he's available, or some veteran cornerback that's out there. They might make a move if it doesn't get better. And Paulson Adebo, I don't think pretty much a healthy scratch, if you ask me. I didn't see any reports about him being injured or anything like that, but we'll see. Debo will probably play the next game. Him and Newsome will probably start that next game. They wanted to get those young guys out there in that very first game to see what they could do. And then you're going to bring in the 2 veterans next week. Because I don't think Drew Phillips played either. So
No, Drew Phillips did not play either. Adebo was Holland didn't play. I kind of feel like John Harbaugh let some of those older veterans sit out because think about the guys that didn't play. Burns, a little bit of an older veteran. Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, they're not old, but they've been in the league for a minute. You know, Holland, you know, cats like that. Of course, DJ Reader and Shelby Harris too. So, and Andrew Thomas didn't play either for the New York Giants. But let's get to number 3. So our number 3 takeaway is the run game will lead this offense. And the Giants, they weren't spectacular running the ball per se, but you could tell the emphasis that they put on the run game. You know, you seen big old Patrick Carr. That was refreshing to see that Patrick Carr cover there and lead some runs, man, with Scatterbo
Patrick's, man, I'm telling
you. And you seen Cam Scatterbo. You know, you seen him back there. He looked fresh. You know, he had a couple good runs, stiff-armed a couple dudes. He was being Cam Scatterbo. So definitely like to see that. Tyrone Tracy was out there. Blown Motor even had a big it wasn't a run, but it was a catch and run. So I was encouraged to see what I seen from the running backs, and then the running game overall. Like I said, it wasn't like they were tearing it up running the football, you know. And I mean, it's the Vikings defense. The Vikings are a very, very good defense. What's good with you? Yeah, Blown Motor, our boy Blown Motor. It said we gotta stop calling them Blown Motor. No, we don't. It's Blown. His name is Blown Motor. You know what I'm saying? But nah, all jokes aside, Devin Singletary did look pretty good. And like I mentioned, the one thing negative is the fact that Tyrone Tracy missed that block. Now, Tyrone Tracy, I don't think this is something where, you know, it's like, oh God, you can't trust him in pass protection. I think it was just a miscommunication. But it got me, you know what I'm saying? I always try to point out things like that as to why coaches like veterans. And this is one of those things, you know, guys like Devin Singletary, you know, although not a spectacular runner, you know, he knows what to do out there on the football. I highly doubt Devin Singletary misses that block and gets Jaxson Dart killed, you know. So, you know, just to point out, you know, Blown Motor's value to the Giants, you know, although I would still like to see them upgrade. Turbo Miller got some runs in there. Poor guy. He ain't cracking his roster, bro. I'm trying to tell people like, hey, Turbo Miller.
That's an interesting quote.
Pick up Najee Harris. This is something me and Pat talked about too, man. You must have been in the room when we was talking, dude, because it's exactly what we was
in our production meeting.
But Najee Harris is definitely somebody that I would look to upgrade from, you know, Devin Singletary or even Eric Gray. Some of these guys, man, just move on already, you know. But nevertheless, man, what did you see out the run game, and what were your thoughts, man, from the running backs out there?
Well, I got a couple of positives and negatives. We'll start with the negatives first. The center position and John Runyon, when it comes to the power run game, we're going to have to compensate for those guys. Runyon continuously got beat to the inside when it came to power runs, and that's why you saw some of my runs go from -3 yards, -4 on one, and I think a -2 on the other every time we ran to the left side. So we're going to have to figure that out. J.C. Davis may come into play here soon. If not this season, definitely next season. Because we got to figure out how to get a power run game to the left side of the football field. Can't just keep running to the CC and Illuminor side with Patrick Ricard. We got to find some way to get it to the left side. And I believe that play was a misread by Tracy. And I think it was a good blitz too. Like Tracy, I knew that dude was going to blitz. So if I knew it, he should have known. You see what I'm saying? But he didn't know that dude was finna blitz, And instead of going and Dart expected him to pick that up if the blitz was coming, he wasn't looking to his right because he was fixed into his left and got popped. So that's another thing that we're gonna have to work on. And it should be in the play to where, hey, if that dude's blitzing, I should be looking to my right a little bit too. So I can't take Jaxson Dart completely away from that sack. You should be looking to your right a little bit too to see what your running back is going to do with that blitzer. And if Tracy just goes straight out for a route, that's like 15 yards because there was nobody over there, and Tracy's going to go out for a route. So they'll have to fix that. It's the first week, so we'll see. But positives in the run game, Cam Scatterbo looks good. The ankle looks healthy, and he looks good. He was bouncing it to the outside, bouncing it to the inside. And when we can open up some holes, Tracy will get a lot of yards too. And because a blown motor can get up the middle and get about 8 yards, Tracy can do that too. So we'll see, man. But it's definitely gonna be, this offense will definitely be led by the run game. There's no question about it. No question about that.
Yeah. Cam Scatterbo, 4 carries, 19 yards, of course, with a long of 7, and you had Eric Gray, 8 carries, 20 yards, mostly, in the second half. Dante Miller, 5 carries, 14 yards, 2.8. Damon Bankston, the undrafted free agent, got in there, 3 carries, 6 yards. Tyrone Tracy, 2 carries, 5 yards, and Devin Singletary, 3 carries, 3 yards. But his big play was actually on a catch and run for 40 yards. So now number 2 takeaway in this game, and you just kind of alluded to it a little bit, and that's Jaxson Dart is going to need some time to develop in this offense because he's playing more under center now, and it is a new offense. And one thing I've seen, I think you kind of like he should have looked to the left, and I think what it is when you're learning a new offense, you're going to be slow. And that's what I've seen out there. He was a little slow in his decision making, and I don't think Jaxson Dart is hesitant, like some of the things we used to talk about with Daniel Jones. I just think it's the offense that he's learning, and he might be a little tick slow in some of his progressions and some of his reads. And this is some of the things that's been reported in practice, and we actually seen it a little bit out there on the field yesterday. Now, he made an excellent play, getting away from a sack, rolling out to his left and hitting Malachi Fields on that touchdown. And we'll talk about Fields here in a second. But I did see that, that was kind of my observation, just breaking down his overall performance. It was a small sample size, but I think as he gets, more of his weapons in there, no Malik Neighbors, he didn't really get a lot of reps with Beckham, none with Slayton, none with Mooney. They didn't play. So I think that, as he gets more involved in this offense and starts to install, and I think Nagy actually said they didn't even have the whole offense installed yet completely. So it was a lot of vanilla stuff as well. But I think he's just going to have to – I think he'll get a little bit faster, and you won't see some of the hesitancy, as you've seen, like when he took that sack and almost got sacked, but was able to get out of it in that one play. A lot of that's on the offensive line too, of course, but, breaking down the whole game, like you mentioned it too, and I'm glad you did, because that means we've seen the same thing, and that I think he's a little bit slow because it is a new offense that he's learning. But you can go ahead and touch on that, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very vanilla offense, and he is going to be a tick slow because it's a brand new offense. It's a brand new offense for everybody. So you're going to see out the gate, give him some reps in the preseason, and I think he'll be okay once they install the full offense. This is not the full offense. There's a couple of things that I've seen with the receivers when they break over in the middle. And when you see the Chiefs, when they break over the middle and they see that they're in a zone, and if I continue to run my drag route, I'm going to run right into a defender. They just cut it up or they just stop. So our receivers are going to have to learn how to do that. Just stop or cut it right up and shoot. You get that 3-yard pass with like 5 yards. of daylight with nobody around you in front of you. So I've seen that a couple of times with Odell Beckham. They had one with Tavon Austin that they could have done that, get it out real quick, and you pick up a first down because you got it out super quick. So I see what can be developed with this offense, and Jaxson Dart will be okay as long as he's not trying to play the superhero. I think he would be okay, because once you start trying to play superhero in this offense, that's when everything breaks down. But we got guys like a guy that we're gonna be talking about a little later on, Malachi Fields, to where you could get away with that a little bit. I knew he was gonna throw that ball up. I was like, I hope Fields catch this over this dude.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I was like, oh shoot, we got us one. Like, because last year that would have been Wan'Dale Robinson.
yeah, right.
So he's not trying to do plays like that. The people that are 5'6" try to jump over 6 foot. But now we got 6'5" jumping over 5'11". Like, he mossed that cat. So that was crazy. But I'm not worried, and I can't wait to see what they start acclimating more and more and more as we get deeper until we get into the regular season, man.
Yeah, man. No doubt. All right. Let's coach, salute, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Hope all is well, brother, man. We miss you over here, bro, man. Get well soon, brother. Odell makes the team. I think
Odell was butt naked on a lot of routes.
Yeah, he and that's the thing too. It's kind of like, damn, bro, you couldn't hit my man, Jameis. And
freaking Allen, you gonna throw it to Miller with double coverage instead of throwing it to Odell Beckham with one-on-one.
When he did throw it to Odell Beckham, he threw it to the linebacker instead of
right.
Right. It's like that dude is pitiful. I want him cut today. Like I can't. Like you step in that spot and you trying to make a roster and you do that. Like, nah.
that was crazy.
That dude was one. It was the stat I had out there on him. It was one. He was 1 for 4, and out of his 3 completions, 2 of them was picks. All right. Number one takeaway though for me, you know it. You know what's coming. Malachi Fields shines. Malachi Fields, with the touchdown, he had another grab. I believe on a little, it's a little out route. I believe Winston got on the ball. He had to, lean and get and catch it, man. But this is going to be your number 2 wide receiver this year. And I've been saying it, man. This year, he's going to step into that number 2 role, because nobody else on the Giants gives you what he gives you. And you've seen it on one play. What we've been talking about, me, Pat, people that watch football, been talking about all offseason. This dude is a red zone threat because of his height and his physicality. Now, does he need to clean up some route stuff? Yeah, but I didn't think he looked bad on that yesterday either. So again, he's taken to the coaching. So, from what we've seen in his college tape, Pat, this kid, this is it, man. This is what the Giants need. This is what Jaxson Dart needs. When he got in trouble, you seen who he looked for, the biggest monster on the dang on field, which is Fields. So, likely he's going to do his thing. Shout out to him. He did pretty well yesterday too. Isaiah Likely, that is, man. But I think those are going to be 2 of his favorite targets, Fields and Likely. Of course, Neighbors when he's healthy. But this kid gives you what the Giants haven't had, and people are talking about since Plaxico Burress. And he's not a burner, but you don't need him to be a burner because the cornerback was right on him. He just jumped over him. Athleticism off the roof, and his hands.
Yeah, that was like glue. Like, give me that. And
you know what I'm saying? He's a hands. A lot of people talk about this with receivers. Are you a body catcher? Are you a hands catcher? and he's definitely a hands catcher. So you put it out there, he gonna go get the mitts and snatch it. You don't have to put a pinpoint pass into his chest like some of these receivers we had before.
Still dropped
it. Yeah, you're right, and still dropped it. But what were your thoughts? What you seeing out there from Malachi Fields? Man, I thought it was awesome.
All right. Obviously, people are going to be talking about the touchdown, which you should be talking about. He was actually the low crosser on there. He saw Jaxson Dart was in trouble, and I like that he played backyard football with Jaxson Dart. He was like, okay, I see you in trouble. I'm not going to keep going across the field. You're not going to be able to see me, so I'm just going to cut it up, go to a spot in the end zone, get to a spot where I think you could throw me the ball. And he pretty much said he knew Jaxson Dart was going to give him a chance, and he made Jaxson Dart right. So that's pretty dope. When you have a receiver that can make you right even when you're wrong, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing, that slant catch that you was talking about, that was actually a quick slant. He actually caught the ball with somebody's hand on his
outside
wrist.
Slant,
yeah, somebody's hand was on his wrist, and he still brought it in with those strong hands. That's what you want to see from a guy like that. I could depend on you in clutch situations when it's a little crowded. I can still get you the ball, and you can still pull it in, and we can get a quick first down. And then he got a quick little out route. I think Jameis Winston threw it to him. I believe so. Yeah, that was Jameis Winston. Or was that Allen that threw it to him? I don't know. But it was he caught it on a little out route, and he turned it up.
I think the out route was Jameis.
Yeah, so and he turned that into another good chunk play to move the chain. So I'm excited about this kid, man, and I'm gonna ride with you, bro, on this one. You'll be the number 2 this year. After those first couple of big games, and if we're struggling with the receivers, they're gonna put him in there. You might as well. And I think he's a kid that's gonna get better the more you put on his plate.
Mm-hmm.
So we may have us a number 2, and we don't have to go out here and get another all-star receiver to player with Neighbors. We got somebody that's a compliment to him already on the team. Just got to let him develop.
And he compliments Neighbors, like you said. You know what I'm saying? They have very different skill sets. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna use a Malik Neighbors to get you up and down the field in between the 20s. And when you get inside that red zone, and they bracket him because the field's just shortened up. You ain't got that much room to work with, and Neighbors might not be able to wiggle loose. Okay, you don't need Fields to get wide open. Storm the ball, and he
made some good blocks too.
Yes, he's gonna be. I seen all the receivers blocking though. I think that's Harbaugh's definitely putting that emphasis. You be out. You're gonna be out here and play receivers. You're gonna block because Beckham was blocking. You know what I'm saying?
Beckham laid somebody out. I see that.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? The coach says my focus will be on the interior of the defensive line first. After your starters, the depth is something to be concerned with. Next are the left guard and backup guards for Lele. Yeah. Lele, Evan Neal, they were great to be honest. And the Giants are still a work in progress in this offense. And that's what people kept telling me. The offensive line was top 15 last year, top 10 in this stat or whatever. This is a different team that John Harbaugh is trying to build. You need big maulers, physical offensive linemen to play that type of bully football. And you don't have all those guys yet. You don't have all those guys yet. On the right side, you do. Jermaine Illuminor and CC Mawinoa. I think those are dudes that can play that style. Andrew Thomas can too. You know what I'm saying? Although he's not the grizzy Rob, beat you up type. He's a very, very excellent left tackle overall. Now, the 2 middle spots, like Coach said, left guard and that center spot definitely needs to upgrade. So he isn't it. On the Allen sack, Falele got beat inside, which forced Allen to roll left, which resulted in the sack, which people blame Davis. It wasn't his fault in that play.
Sure wasn't.
Yeah. We know Daniel Falele from Baltimore. And actually, I was looking at him when he was coming out of college. But he's not the answer, obviously. You know, the Giants don't have the left guard of the future on this roster. You know what I'm saying? They don't have their center of the future on this roster yet. You know, I don't think Marcus Bowl looked great trying to go out there and play left tackle. You know, so that's something I think he might be better suited either on the right side or inside at guard. You know, they even talked about putting him at center. So they still gotta.
That would be a good thing to put him at center, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they still gotta, you know, play around with this offensive line a little bit, but I do think that it's coming along, you know, but they still gotta, particularly in pass protection, run blocking on the left side could be an issue. Pass protection, I think, will be a lot better with Andrew Thomas out there. What's good, Alexander? What's good? Peace and salute. Thank you for tapping in. He's playing a lot in week 1, Slayton. I think they'll give Slayton the opportunity in the first 2 weeks, kind of like Pat mentioned. I think that's going to be the test to see, okay, you know, all the so-called penciled-in starters will get their reps. And if it don't look good, then you're going to start seeing guys like Malachi Fields play. You know what I'm saying? In wide receiver. You might see Thomas Fedoni bump Theo Johnson if he can't catch the dang on football. You're gonna see things, you know, start to if John Runyon looks awful, maybe you give J.C. Davis a shot in there. So we're gonna start to see some moves being made, and I think the first 2 games is gonna be because you're playing 2 of the best teams in the conference. John Harbaugh mentioned that. So the first 2 games will be the kind of litmus test to see, like, okay, are we good enough to compete with the best teams in this conference, or do we need to make some changes, you know, within the roster, and then you'll start to see maybe some trades or something happen. Kareem McKenzie types, Kareem McKenzie.
He was a mauler.
That's what we need.
And left side.
Most definitely, man. But let's get to. Well, let's take a little break here. How about we do that? And then we'll get to inside the NFC East. Well, I guess if any other takeaways that you have, because those was my top 5. If there's any other takeaways you have from this game, I think we touched on a lot. Like I mentioned, Isaiah Likely, you could put him up there too. I thought he had a pretty decent showing in limited action, 2 catches for 11 yards. I do like Braxton. Did like what I seen from Braxton Berrios.
I think he's going to be the return game,
and in the and he made a catch or 2 in the receiving game as well. 1 catch for 9 yards. So I do like what I seen from him. And outside of that, that's all I got. What you got, Pat? Anything else you seen?
Coach mentioned one too. I seen that too. Fedoni needs to work on his blocking tremendously when it comes to the black side, but he's gonna be a receiving option for you. They don't want him blocking. They're gonna leave that to Manhurts and Johnson and Likely. But other than that, man, just development. That's all I see, man. We got some kids that need to be developed, and it's going to happen. Once they get developed, we're going to be rocking and rolling. But other than that, I'm not too worried about anything. It's the preseason.
No doubt, man. So let's hit a commercial break here, man. Check out content creators, all the content creators we got here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. Appreciate all the hard work all the fellas have put in, man. And hey, man, we're going to keep rocking and rolling, giving you these live streams, play-by-plays, and documentaries, so on and so forth, man. So check us out on the ABSN. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
New York basketball fans, the crown is here. The city is on fire, and Man Cave has been there for every second of the ride. From opening night to the final buzzer of a championship run, Knicks Inferno brings you live play-by-play for every Knicks game, including including the playoff with instant reactions, detailed analysis, player breakdowns, injury updates, and real Knicks talk that keeps the fan base locked in. The New York Knicks are NBA champs, and if you lived it with Man Cave, you already know this isn't just coverage, this is celebration. And the Man Cave doesn't stop with Knicks basketball. He also taps in with the New York Giants talk, Duke Blue Devils coverage, and the women's game as co-host of Courtside View on the W with Coach Ed and Leaf, plus coverage of the New York Liberty. Man Cave is proudly a part of the ABSN Aboriginal Sports Network, but also on his own channel, you get the full Man Cave experience. Subscribe to Man Cave today. Knicks Inferno, Championship Energy, Giants Talk, Duke coverage, Courtside View on the W. The city lives in the Man Cave. Subscribe.
Looking for real sports talk with energy, insight, and play-by-play that keeps you locked in? Tune in to Coach Ed Sports on YouTube, your home for live play-by-play of every New York Liberty game, including the playoffs. Coach Ed brings detailed analysis on every player, every stat, injury updates, breaking news, and everything you need to stay ahead of the game. And it doesn't stop there. Catch halftime coaching adjustments where Coach Ed breaks down the biggest stories across the NFL, NBA, MLB, WNBA, and the NHL. For all things NBA, tap into the Pick and Roll podcast covering the latest news, updates, and hot topics from around the league. College football fans, don't miss the College Zone, featuring live play-by-play live streams every week. Coach Ed is also one half of the Heart of the City with Unpopular Opinion Sports on the ABSN, where he brings the heat with Coach's Corner. Subscribe now to Coach Ed Sports on YouTube. And while you're there, support the ABSN YouTube channel too. Coach Ed Sports, where play-by-play meets real analysis.
Tired of restaurants pretending turkey is just for Thanksgiving? Well, welcome to the Jive Turkey. The only place where turkey is not the sidekick, it's the whole superhero. That's right, no beef, no pork, no chicken trying to sneak in through the back door, just turkey. We got smoked turkey sandwiches stacked so high you might need a permit. Turkey wings tossed in sauce like they just won a championship. Turkey legs big enough to make you question your life choices. Turkey burgers, turkey bowls, turkey platters, turkey comfort food. If it can be turkey, you probably already put it on a plate. One bite and you'll be saying, hold up, this bird got moved. And don't worry, we got something for everybody. Lunch break, turkey. Family dinner, turkey. Game day, turkey. Random Tuesday when you just need something that slaps, you already know it. Turkey. At the Jive Turkey, we believe turkey deserves respect, seasoning, and maybe its own theme music. So come on down, bring your appetite, and leave the beef outside. The Jive Turkey, all the time. Jive and takeout, catering, and delivery available.
This football season, bring bold flavor to your game day lineup with End Zone Fade. The beer made for NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and fans who live for every snap, hit, and highlight. Whether you post it up at the tailgate, watch it from the couch, or celebrating a big win with the crew, End Zone Fade delivers a smooth, crisp taste worthy of kickoff. So when the game gets loud and the takes get louder, reach for the beer that plays all four quarters. End Zone Fade, built for game day, best enjoyed off the field.
Please enjoy responsibly. Must be 21 and over to purchase.
You may not be in the starting five, but that doesn't mean your sneaker game has to sit out. Introducing bench warmers, the sneaker made for the player who stays ready, even if the coach forgot your name twice. With all the bench comfort, heat lock lining, and first step pop for when your number finally gets called, bench warmer keeps you cozy and on the sidelines and flashy enough to make the starters jealous. Because let's be honest, if you only got 30 seconds of playing time, you better look legendary in every one of them. Bench warmer, built for the bench, ready for the moment. Stay ready, stay fresh.
Ever walk into a room and wonder why did everybody suddenly get nicer? That's Smell Good Cologne. One smooth spray delivers a clean, confident scent that says, yes, I have my life together. Even when your laundry is still sitting in the dryer. Wear it to work, Wear it on a date. Wear it to the grocery store and make the produce section feel exclusive. It's bold without shouting fresh, without smelling like you wrestled a lemon, and smooth enough to turn heads without causing neck injuries. Smell good cologne, because looking good is important, but smelling good makes people forget everything else. Tonight, the hunger is real. The stakes are high. And one restaurant is ready to deliver in the club. This is Birds of a Feather, where the menu goes hard from the opening whistle to the final buzzer. Chicken, turkey, duck, hot, crispy, game ready. Built for fans who don't just watch the action, they attack it. Need a game day wing bucket for kickoff? Need a turkey sandwich that brings heavyweight energy in the fourth quarter? Need delivery before the next time out? Then it's time to make the call. Because at Birds of a Feather, if it can fly, you can fry. Eat in, order delivery, feed the whole flock. This isn't just food, this is a game day performance. Birds of a Feather, big flavor, big energy. Ready for tip-off, kickoff, and everything in between.
Let me cut my mic on. We are back, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, and check it out. This is inside the NFC East. We're going inside the NFC East. We're going to check out all our rivals per se. So check out inside the NFC East. We're coming right back here. We're going to start with the Cowboys.
Giants, Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles. Welcome to Inside the NFC East.
All right, man. So Dallas Cowboys taking Dallas Cowboys in action last night. 17-7 win over the Seattle Seahawks. No Dak Prescott. Don't think any of their main starters played. Joe Milton got the start with 12 out of 15, 107 yards and a touchdown. Couple takeaways, man, from website Blogging the Boys. Said it was not a good start. The preseason did not start out great as the defense allowed the Seahawks to stroll down the field for opening touchdown drive. Cornerbacks got tagged not once, but twice, but 3 times for penalties when Kalen Carson and Taweezy Briggs were both flagged for pass interference. Cowboys did not turn any favors as they went 3 and out on their opening drive. It did not look good. Of course, they said things got better as they went on a 17-0 run. Also, last year, James Houston put himself on notice during the preseason when he made big play after big play. Well, he's at it again. Veteran edge coming up with 2 sacks. According to this website here. So, Cowboys getting the dub here. Of course, Joe Milton, he played pretty good. I do think this Dallas team is going to be pretty good. We haven't done our NFC East preview yet. Y'all be on the lookout for that. But Cowboys, with backups kind of looking like I expected them to look, although I didn't catch the game in its entirety. Well, what were your thoughts, man, about Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas is Dallas, man. You're going to have to stop that offense. You're definitely going to have to stop the offense with the Dallas Cowboys, and you're going to have to attack their corners. Their corners are still like our corners. They got a lot to prove out there, so you're going to have to score points to beat this team. I say if you don't score at least 24 points, you might get beat by this team. But we'll see, man. The Cowboys, they're not juggernauts, but they're not sorry either. So I think this is the best team in the NFC East right now, and we're going to see about these guys, man. I can't wait till the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles losing 24-7 to the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't play their starters either. So no starters for either of the NFC East teams as far as outside of the Giants. But nevertheless, Cole Payton, he played Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton. None of them really did anything of note. Tanner McKee did have a touchdown, the lone touchdown for the Eagles. That was caught by Eric Izukama. That is, but anyway, looking at Bleeding Green Nation, some of the takeaways from the game says linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. finished with 5 tackles, 2 solos, and a sack. He looked pretty good. Ty Robinson, Pat, remember old Ty Robinson we talked to at the Senior Bowl? He's looking pretty good over there with Philly. 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a quarterback hit, and a sack in the first quarter. Will Shipley looked okay. Eli Stowers says he didn't start well, but he did finish with 3 catches for 12 yards. Glaring problem, though, is concerned about his blocking over there in Philly. That is their rookie tight end, Eli Sowers. Keely Ringo, up to Keely Ringo things, both good and bad. And yeah, Eli, the Eagles offense, a concern. Not the best start for Sean Mannion, who the Eagles were 0 for 9 on third down conversions. Didn't truly move the ball until the third stringers were on the field. This is the Eagles website, well, one of their websites, Bleeding Green Nation. So, but what are your thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles? I personally, just from an overall standpoint, I think they're going to take a step back. A lot of people disagree with that. Eagles fans, of course. But I think they're going to take a little step back without A.J. Brown. What do you think?
I think they are going to take a little bit of step back, and it looks like the receivers that they brought in are not as great as they thought they would be. I'm telling you, with Mekhi Lemon, you have to have a quarterback that can get it to Mekhi Lemon. He's not like an A.J. Brown where you can just throw it up to him and you can go get it at any given time. And Smith is going to have a lot more coverage put on him this year. So we're going to see what this Eagles team can do. I think their offense does take a step back. Now, their defense, I think, will still be very good. But if you can attack them with your run game, the Eagles might be in trouble this year. Those games where they can just dominate you, even though you're having good success against them, those days are over. They're gonna have to play some ball this year, and Jalen Hurts is gonna have to step up this year. So we'll see.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And finally, the Washington Commanders. Commanders with a dub over the Miami Dolphins, 20-7. No Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota got the start, and I believe he got hurt. That dude right there, man.
Yeah, he sprained his ACL.
Yeah, Washington. They're gonna have some concerns over there. Of course, Larry Tunsil gets hurt, and I don't know, but nevertheless, coach's boy Khalid McManus played in place of Mariota after he got hurt. He went 6 of 10, 87 yards. Katron Allen, 23 carries, 85 yards and a touchdown. Robert Henry Jr., 12 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown. Commanders getting it done on the ground. 41 carries for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, 4.2 yards per carry. Some of the takeaways from Washington Commanders website, Raise Hell, says the defense improved after the opening drive. Commanders made it clear before kickoff that most of their main contributors would not play against the Dolphins. The Dolphins did no such thing, kept most of their starters on the field for the first few minutes. Dolphins starters moved their way down the field with ease, taking an early lead with a 14-play, 93-yard drive that culminated with a Devon Achane touchdown. After that, though, the Commanders defense settled in and had a much better night. Malik Willis looked sharp in his attempts against Washington. So Commanders might have to work on cleaning up that defense. And I don't know, man. People were saying Sonny Styles didn't look great. Didn't watch it. I don't know if you caught any of that on Twitter, Pat, but
I did. He's gonna have to learn a lot about that middle linebacker position if he's gonna be the primary Mike linebacker. See, I think he was a off-ball linebacker, but they got him at the Mike, and I think he's gonna struggle a little bit until he gets acclimated of all the calls and all the gaps that he's supposed to fill. I think he's a great complementary player, but I don't know if he's a great Mike linebacker. See what I'm saying? And that's why him going to Washington, I was a little bit iffy because I knew they were gonna make him the Mike linebacker. So we gonna see. He's got a lot to learn, sure.
Iman Perry, salute. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. Says Styles is a safety transition in the linebacker. Yeah, it's gonna take some time for Styles. So overall, though, man, like people are high on this Washington team, and I mean there are some legit concerns with this club. You know, their ability to protect their quarterback is definitely a concern. You know, when you're looking at this team, you know, you ain't see a whole lot in the preseason, but they gotta they gotta clean some stuff up over there in Washington.
And shout out to my guy Caleb Douglas over there with the Miami Dolphins. I told people that kid was gonna be good, and he was drafted in the 3rd round, I believe. And I told people that kid was gonna be good. Good job, Pat.
Yeah. Commanders got to clean up their run defense too. Miami went 28 carries, 117 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Touchdown came from A-Chain, but our boy Ali Gordon, he did his thing out there too. 7 carries, 39 yards, 5.6 yard average with a long run of 12. Jalen Wright got busy a little bit over there. Malik Willis looked pretty good. So yeah, their defense might be a little bit of concern. Like you mentioned in the article, after the first drive, they settled in, but of course Miami starters were out by that time. But that has been Inside the NFC East. Appreciate y'all tapping in from the chat, and we're gonna wrap this thing up with a little on the money or out of pocket. So y'all stay tuned for that. Keep your comments coming in the comment section, and we'll be right back. This has been Inside the NFC East.
Giants, Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles. Welcome to Inside the NFC East.
There we go. All right, man. So we're gonna get into a little on the money or out of pocket here. And yeah, y'all know this is our roast session. So we're gonna get into it, man. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. On the money or out of pocket, coming right at you. Let's hit it.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
All right, man. So check it out. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be doing fantasy football this year, and I don't know if y'all see some of these things that some of these fantasy football losers have to do, man. But this dude right here was forced to run a half mile while covered in peanut butter for his punishment. Let's check it out. Let me mute that. There we go. But yeah, got the dude running and covered in peanut butter as his punishment for losing in fantasy football. On the money or out of pocket, y'all. What y'all think? Pat.
Money for those. That's what they do. They're running in peanut butter. Good thing no animal tried to come out there and attack him.
Fucking bear, why is he chasing me?
Get
that peanut butter.
I lose no more.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's life or death.
It's life or death.
Man, I guess it's all the money, man. That's what they do, man.
Yeah. All right. On the money out of pocket, Malachi Corley tried to charge Devontae Adams $1 million for his jersey number. Let's take a look at let's take a listen at how your boy Devontae Adams reacted, man. I love Devontae Adams, man. hold up.
I told that story. That told me he wanted $1 million for it. I showed up when I first got to the Jets day one. I came in with my backpack and I'm like, it was the off day Tuesday, so a couple guys were in there. I'm like looking for him. I got $17,000 cash in my backpack, and I'm thinking like this ain't nothing crazy, but like certainly to give up your number as a rookie, like you ain't did shit yet.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was week 6, and I think he played 4 plays at that point. I'm like, you have no attachment to this right now.
Right.
I'll pay for your whole family to get new jerseys, whatever, because they go out and spend their money on it. However many jerseys you need me to buy, I'll do that. And how about $17,000 for the number 17? He said, it's great to have you, big bro. I can't wait to learn from you, but I'm gonna need $1 million. So I went 17, bro, and it just took it off of me.
No way. You get the 17,000. That's what happens with Reed, dude. That is hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah, Malachi Corley charged Devontae Adams $1 million for his jersey number. Devontae, he ain't did shit. All the money out of pocket, man. What y'all think?
Out of pocket on Malachi Corley, and on the money from Devontae Adams. You just snatched it off of him. So give him my number to him, bro. Try to be nice. I was going to pay for your family's jerseys and everything and give you $17,000 on top of it. You said $1 million. Just snatched it off of him, man. Get him out of here, bro. And
get him up out.
Corley, is he even on the Jets anymore? I don't think he is.
He ain't doing nothing. Yeah.
Bro, you must have knew what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Says you ain't did crap yet, bro.
Right.
What the hell wrong with you?
Jersey, my number, bro.
Adam before right. Should be you got played. Yeah.
Played yourself.
Played yourself, son. All right, man. We love the combine and we love the Senior Bowl, man. But how about this workout, man? I'm gonna call it the Hood Combine. Because yeah, I ain't never seen nothing like this, man. Tell me what y'all think, man. I mean, you got shoe boxes out there, trash cans.
Oh man.
Pizzas at a pizza box.
Man, good grief. Oh, that was nice. Oh
yeah.
Man.
What do y'all think, though, man? About the Hood Combine? Hood Combine, bro. On the money out of pocket.
Yo, well, this is on the money. Get Cascadable out there, man. He'll really get it out there and pump it for you. You have your whole yard full of trash. Like that right there is crazy. Picking up the trash can.
Yeah.
Yo, get it in, man. Use the resources that you have. We are candidates of that. Use the resources that you have, man. Good job on him, bro. And whoever is allowing him to do that, good job on them too, man. This is dope.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. I think it's on the money too. What the comments say, on the money. Mosley says that look like me coming up. Imar says, "Yup, on the money." Coach says, "YG, I've seen stuff like this at the semi-pro level." Yeah, I bet you have. Yeah, hell
I bet you have. They gotta use their resources too.
That's dope though, man. But all right, moving on, man. Let's get a little bit of Giants on the money out of pocket here. Oh, Jeremy Shockey. Jeremy Shockey says he got a vasectomy at 21 the year he got drafted. So a girlfriend could not derail his NFL career. Says like 21 years old when I got drafted, got a vasectomy. I had no kids, didn't want no kids. Signed a contract with the team, but I didn't know they could trade me next year. So if I'm dating a girl here, I don't need any of this. But let's play a little bit of it and see and listen
I can't do that.
What he says.
Yeah, like 21 years when I got drafted, I got a vasectomy. I had no kids. I didn't want kids.
You don't want the kids? You still don't want kids?
I reversed it. Yeah, I wanted kids. I reversed it, but I'm saying when I played in the NFL, I didn't want to have any. No,
do you have
so much space
now?
here? No, I had no kids.
But you want kids now?
Yeah, I do. But I obviously,
but his reflexes.
I got insured for my Lloyd in London. That's really the truth. When I got the vasectomy as well, so that was a good decision. But I didn't have that. I didn't need that in emotional support. Listen, when we get home from work, what do you want to do? You want to recover? I want to sit in my hyperbaric chamber. I'm going to get acupuncture. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. There's only so many weeks. I have to have a schedule. I don't need that. It's not me. I'll do that later.
Right.
I know. And it worked out for me. Some guy, I always thought in my mind, how this person on
the money out of pocket, man. Your boy Jeremy Shockey, man. He's getting ahead of the curve, I guess. Saying, hey, I'm gonna get this taken care of immediately before any nonsense happens with this girl I'm with.
He was smart.
What y'all think, man?
He was smart. I don't think he ever came up with anything with a female in his career. He was very smart, man. That's a Jeremy Shockey thing to do. Jeremy Shockey was freaking nuts, bro. So yeah, I think he did the right thing for himself, because we all know Jerry Shockey. He was one of them dudes that could get it, coming from Miami, and he went to New York. Yeah. That's a fact. Shout out to Shockey, man.
Yeah, man. The comment section likes it too. Coach says, if she came up pregnant, he could send it to the Mars show. Says, you are not the father. Yeah, right. He wouldn't be the father. Greg says, NYG, I'm like Jeremy Shockey. Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. All right. Let's see. Let's do one more, another kind of Giants one here, and I'll save the rest for next week. But Plaxico Burress, compared. I don't have any audio for this one, but Plaxico Burress compared the Jets to prison. Says they're both kind of similar. Because when I walked into prison on my first day, I was like, damn, you're a effing loser. And I had the same damn feeling every day I walked through the door with the New York Jets. Damn.
Wow.
On the money out of pocket, comparing the Jets to prison.
Unfortunately for the New York Jets, Plaxico Burress is on the money. Especially playing with the Jets them days that he was there. Yeah, he was on the money. Because I think it was him and Santonio Holmes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, playing for the Jets is like going to prison. That's a fact. Hopefully they can change that going into the future with Aaron Glenn, but he's feeling it right now too. And he's a former Jet as well. So yeah, I gotta say on the money with that, Plax.
Yeah, man. Iman, on the money. Greg says, damn, Plax, why you doing like that? Everybody does it just like that.
Right. It makes it even worse.
Goddamn Jets.
What makes it even worse is you gotta take him serious because he actually been to prison. Yes, so.
Right. That's why he said when I first walked in there, I was like, damn,
yo,
loser. And he said the same thing when he walked through the Jets locker room. Damn, I'm a loser. Oh man, I had to throw that one up in there, man. But yeah, that is all I got, man, for this edition of On the Money Out of Pocket. Y'all stay tuned, man. Give you this every single Sunday on the Money Out of Pocket, man. This is our roast session, as I like to call it. But there, Coach says, damn, who ran the pen then?
Man.
It might have been somebody kin to Woody Johnson, Coach. That's all.
Yep.
That's the Jets owner. But all right, man. Until next week, man. We coming back, man, on the Money Out of Pocket.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
All right, man. That is all I got today. We got today for New York Giants Convo. I'm gonna try to condense this show a little bit more, make it a little bit closer to an hour-ish. But final thoughts on what you're seeing out there in the preseason game with the New York Giants. Of course, 13-10. They took the L, but we gave our takeaways. Appreciate the chat for chiming in, man. Y'all were awesome today. Salute to y'all. But final takeaways, as the Giants, I believe they will play the Miami Dolphins next week. And I think they're going to have some joint practices, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think it's did they cancel them with the Jets? I think they were supposed to have some.
Yeah, they canceled them with the Jets, and I think they're going to do it with the Dolphins, which I probably would have rather did it with the Jets because I think that's a better test. But we'll see. We'll see what the Dolphins put out there, man. But what are your final thoughts, man, for our roasted? The roasted turkey had me thinking about the Eagles offense yesterday.
Final takeaways, man, is the Giants. We have some work to do with our young guys. We have to get them developed. And final takeaway, as far as the offense, I want to see what they do more when they get more of the offense acclimated into the system for Jaxson Dart. And we got to run block better, and we got to stop the run better. Things that we've seen that we have to get better at for the past couple of years. The great thing about it is a lot of our starters weren't playing in those particular areas, so we'll see how better it gets when Edmonds and Burns and Reeder and Shelby Harris comes and Andrew Thomas gets back out there. And I don't know, maybe John Michael Smith's got some pointers. Hopefully he comes back better. But John Runyon definitely has to get better in order for us to run the power run game that we want to. But other than that, just develop. That's it.
Yeah, man. Iman Perry says, can't have another miscommunication with Tracy and Dart again. That shit got my blood boiling. Yeah, that pissed me off too. But everything came out okay. So, we can learn from that. Tyrone Tracy definitely going to learn from it. And
you're going to be on the bench.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, we'll get better in that aspect, man. And one thing I would want to say, though, man, is New York Giants fans, defend your quarterback, man. This dude is getting a lot of unnecessary heat. And for being one of the young, up-and-coming quarterbacks, was picked in the first round, last year, people been dogging Jaxson Dart, you know, and I don't know if it's the political thing or what, man, but this dude has been getting a lot of heat, man, and you know, I'm gonna stick up for him because that's don't do your young players like that. You know, don't do your young players like that. We want our players to be confident, and for Dart, I don't think his confidence is going. I think they just think he's that type of dude. Like he's not gonna care what people are saying. He's just gonna go out there and try to prove them wrong, which is what you want. But at the same time, to hear some of the fans and some of the things that they say, it's kind of disgusting because it's like, do you guys support anybody? It's like, do you support anybody on this team? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who the quarterback has been throughout the years, you know, and I go back, you know, since the Phil Simms days, you know, coach, you go back longer than that, you know. But, you know, me, Pat, you know, some of us, every quarterback the Giants have, man, goes through this. Eli Manning went through it. Phil Simms went through it. You know, all the trash quarterbacks they had between them went through it. Daniel Jones went through it. Now Jaxson Dart is going through it. Now, do y'all support anybody? I understand being critical, but do you support anybody? I'm critical of a lot of people on this team. You know what I'm saying? But support the people that need your support as fans. You know, I ain't saying you got to go out there and spend a bunch of money, because I ain't. But like, let's not trash the team, like trash the players per se. You know, you can trash the Giants organizational wise. You can be negative Nancy because they haven't proven anything. I get all that, but why you just got to be all trashy with some of the players? That's what I don't understand. Like, what did they do to you? But that's my final takeaway, man. Go ahead, take us out of here, Pat. Appreciate y'all in the chat too. Alexander, Coach, Greg, Mosley, Iman Perry. We had we had a bunch of people in the chat, man. But appreciate y'all, man. New was in here earlier too. Thank y'all for showing up, man, with the support, man. Chris TV, salute. Says my final thoughts is to get what do you say? My final thoughts to get OBJ the ball. We could have won the game yesterday and missed him for 2 TDs. Agreed.
Yes, we did.
We did talk about that too. But yep, that's all I got, man. Go ahead and get us out of here, Pat, man. And y'all stay tuned, man. Coming back with full access later on today, so check us out over there.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. This has been New York Giants Convo. Hit that like and subscribe button for us right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, and go to Unpopular Opinion Sports. Subscribe there to NYG's personal channel and my personal channel, Big Pat Sports Talk. Also, hit that big blue join button and become official member of the Aboriginals, man. Become an Aboriginal. And it's only $2.99 a month to help us to get to events like the Senior Bowl, the Super Bowl, the NFL draft. You want to see us there, give coverage, help support the Aboriginal Sports Network. But until the next Giants Convo, y'all know what it is, man. Peace.
Peace.